welcome back to Man Cave Collectibles, coming at you today with another review. Today I want to take a look at one of my favorite omnibus. So today we're going to look at the Death and Return of Superman omnibus that was published in April of 2019. So this is a kind of a re-release of the original Death and Return of Superman omnibus that was released back in March of 2013. It has a few little additions to it, and then it's missing a few things from that one as well. But it does contain a little over 300 additional pages from the original release from the first print. So we'll call this our second print. So this is based on the storyline that ran from about 1992 to about 1994, based around the death of Superman. If for those of us that are my age, this would have been during our youth, during our childhood, when Superman fought Doomsday and ended up losing at Doomsday's hand, lost his life. And a really cool story ensued thereafter, and this book really kind of encompasses all of that. So this book has 1,408 pages, where the previous printing of this was right around 1,100. So let's go ahead and take a look at the dust jacket on our omnibus today. So as we can see here, we've got that iconic Superman titling there that we saw in the comic books from the 90s. We've got the iconic and really nostalgic for me Superman cape here, kind of draped over a stick. So we saw this shortly after Superman's death. This has been recreated in statue form and action figure form, so this is something we've probably all seen if you're even somewhat familiar with this storyline. And then as far as on the spine of the book here, we've just got Superman again. We've got that Superman logo kind of with that blood looking drip going on there. Death and Return of Superman omnibus. And then as we flip on over to the back here, we have a little right up here where a little bit of critic review, the epic event that shocked the nation and changed Superman forever. Gives a little right up here, and then it talks about what we actually collect. So let's kind of run through that. So in this book, the Superman, the Death and Return of Superman omnibus, this includes Action Comics 683 through 692 and annual number 5, The Adventures of Superman 496 through 505 and annual number 5, Green Lantern number 46, Justice League of America 69 through 70, Superman the Man of Steel 17 through 26 and annual number 2, Superman 73 through 83 and annual number 5, Supergirl and Team Luthor Special number 1, News Time, The Life and Death of Superman and Superman the Legacy of Superman number 1, and then collected for the first time the groundbreaking fold out from Superman number 75, and I'll show you that. This is the first time that they've done this 3-pager since the original comic book come out. So that is really cool, something I'm excited about. We'll take a look at it. A retail price here, retail price of $150. I want to say I paid about 75 bucks for this when I purchased it around the middle of last year. So you'll have to go out and see if you can find this for less than the $150. Cheap graphic novels, in stock trades, even sometimes Amazon will have these books at a discounted price. So you'll have to check and see kind of what they're running, at the time, what you can pick it up for. Let's go ahead and we'll take our dust jacket off and we'll take a look at the actual book art itself. We'll lay this over to the side. So we have a really nice wraparound cover here where we can see with Doomsday. Let's see if we can fold this out and show that really nice. There we go. So really nice wraparound cover for this thing. We got just Superman worn down. We got Lois, Jimmy Olsen here in the background. I just noticed, actually, something I noticed, Lois Lane actually already has his cape there. So, he's taking a shot here at Doomsday. This is probably pretty close to the final moments of this battle. So, really cool wraparound cover. I like that a lot. All right. So as we go ahead and work our way into the book, we can see just as we open up, we've got a really cool section here just showing, you know, some newspaper clippings from, you know, the day that, or the day after Superman passed away. Just really cool for them to add something in like this. I think that's really neat. As we continue to move in here. And we won't go through every page, obviously 1,400 pages we're not going to be able to go through, but we'll just kind of scroll through some of the main pages. And you know, this talks about all the writers, pencilers, inkers, colorists that were all part of this whole storyline back in the 90s. And then Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster obviously get a shout out, as they were the creators of Superman himself. And then here we got a table of contents where it kind of shows us, you know, what's in the book, and if you wanted to skip to a certain area. That's one neat thing about an omnibus, and why I enjoy collecting them, is because if it contains so much from a story, if there's a particular, you know, portion of a story you want to jump into, you don't have to read this whole omnibus at, you know, at that time. You can jump right into, you know, Superman and Doomsday fighting, or if you know, Eradicator is one of your favorite characters, you can jump on back into the Eradicator storyline. So it's really cool to have the omnibus for those purposes. And then another page there showing, you know, the rest of the story and where you can find them in the table of contents. So we get right on into our story here at page number 7, and we see Doomsday here. He's breaking out of his containment, you know, that they had him in, and he does so. This is a portion of the story here that I've read so many times in trade paperback. So if you know, if the trade paperback back from the 90s was a book that was I picked up as a kid. My parents bought it for me at a comic book store, and I read it so many times that it basically fell apart on me. So it's really cool to have this again, you know, in you know, omnibus form, and not only just have the death of Superman, but also have the return and portions of Funeral for a Friend and all the storylines that went along with that. So we'll start skipping ahead here as we go. We'll just kind of scroll through. You can see just that really cool 90s, you know, nostalgia type artwork. And then here they are kind of meeting for the first time here. And, you know, if this is a storyline you've not read before, this is I highly recommend that you do check this storyline out. This would be a great starting point for, you know, a new reader. If you're new to comic books or new to Superman, this would be an excellent starting point for you. Now here is one of the coolest things about this omnibus is the full fold out, I guess like tri-page, I guess you could call it. And this was one of the most iconic scenes from this 90s storyline. So you've got Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen there. Over here you've got some of the Justice League members that did try to come in and assist Superman. You know, they know what has happened at this point. And then as we spoke earlier, here's kind of that same cover art that we have on the front of the omnibus dust jacket. So really cool that they were able to throw that in. And then here you've got just this was kind of talking about some of the write-up from you know, the News Time write-up. So this is pretty cool. This is not something that I'd really ever read prior to this omnibus. So you get some neat stuff there. And then as we continue to skip on ahead, we'll slide our book over here just a little bit. You can see here they're taking the dead body of Doomsday away. And then we've got the start of the funeral. So this was really cool too. This really brought together the entire DC universe. And as you can see here, just a ton of characters here. And you get even more as you continue to go on. You know, here's even Lobo, you know, coming in to the story. All right, as we keep going here. Jonathan Kent, Superman's father, was having some issues. I won't go into the storyline on that, but that's a very pivotal point in Superman's life there. that you'll get to see in this omnibus. Here we've got one of the characters that took up the mantle of Superman. We've got Steel. So this is definitely one of my favorite characters as a kid. Somebody I really enjoyed reading. And then we've got another Superman who claimed to be Superman. We've got the Cyborg Superman, who you will go on to figure out who that actually is. We've also got Superboy. So during this time, you know, a lot of different characters come into play claiming to be the new Superman. So this was Superboy, who we go on to find out is genetically made, and I won't really give away that in case you're a new reader. As much as I would love to talk about it, we won't, because don't want to do a spoiler-free review here. This is Eradicator. This was another Superman that kind of appeared on the scene shortly after Superman's death and claimed to be Kal-El and the new Superman. And they all kind of faced off at one time or another, you know. So it's a really cool storyline. They're very cool Superman characters, and they've really stood the test of time. You can see here we've got Steel and Eradicator. They're kind of meeting and facing off. Continue to flip through here. You can see they erected a memorial there for Superman. Pretty cool. All right, as we continue to go here, kind of getting back toward the end, and something else we're seeing that's really cool, and this is an upgrade by DC. We have probably 85 to 90% of the pages here on our left side, and our spine and our cover is continuing to stay flat. Now that's not going to hold all the way through the entire book, but the fact that we've got 1,200 pages 1,200 of the 1,400 pages laid to the left and the book's remaining on its side, I think that is fantastic, you know, before it actually flips over. So that's an upgrade. I've got Blackest Night Omnibus by DC, and it wasn't done this well. So that's really cool. You have to, and that's what I mean there. You kind of have to fight with it as you get toward the end. You know, these books have 1,400 pages. That's a lot of pages on one side. So the fact that they can get it all the way down to 1,300 pages without flipping closed on you is pretty good. I'm pleased with that. But this is just a really cool book. Again, just a great starting point if you're new to comic books, if you're a young reader. This will be a great place for you to begin and really read one of the most, if not the most, iconic storylines really of our generation. I think this would be a fantastic place for you to begin. And then the back here is more or less just kind of artwork from that time period and that storyline. Got some real neat art here of Doomsday and Superman. And then you got some of the concept art here where the artists were talking about the design, you know. So it's really cool to see, you know, Louise Simonson here, you know, how he's, or Lewis, I'm not sure how he really pronounces his name. I've heard people say it different ways. There's a Cyborg Superman makeup there. Superboy. I really like how they did Superboy. They kind of gave him almost like this punk rocker, you know, leather jacket style look. It's really cool. And then just some cool notes. So if you're really into checking all this out, like I said, go out and see, you know, see what you can find this book for out there right now. It may be sold out at a lot of your major, you know, book publishers. Or your book online retailers, I guess is the better word for that. And if it is, you may could check eBay, see if it's there. I'm sure there's somewhere out there you're still able to purchase this, and again, I highly recommend it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little quick review here of the Superman Death and Return Omnibus. It's a big recommend from me. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this review. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. We hit up a little bit of everything in the comic book world. Remember to comment below on what you thought of this storyline. If you haven't read it, let us know that as well. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Until next time.